Hey everybody, it's Draco. What's going on? Gosh, I don't remember if I did a video last week, but we're catching back up this week, and I'm just about to go into the gym. Maybe a little bit shorter video today. But anyways, been just dealing with a lot and going through the motions with the kids and the family. And so my daughter Kata got sick. She's 9 months old. She got sick in her lungs with some bronchial infection. We were at home and she was not breathing very well and sounded rattly, and then started wheezing, and she was moaning and groaning and was like fighting something. We weren't sure if it was like a ear infection or a cold or what was going on, or if she swallowed a Lego piece or what. So but got to a point where I was like, hey, just take her to the hospital. So we got her checked out and everything. So just got her discharged today. She was in the hospital for 2 days, and she was just really fighting to breathe and really fighting to just live. So, but she's doing better now, and she's strong, and they helped her out through the worst parts of it. Sounds like kids can get this, and they kind of outgrow this bronchial asthma seasonal kind of thing after a couple 2 or 3 years. It's kind of new to me. There's not really like a super parenting class that teaches you everything, so you learn these things or talk to other parents, right? Which is cool because it's still kind of tribal and along the lines of wellness with the health of your children, and tribal knowledge with the health and wealth, or health with other people learning about, hey, have you experienced this or gone through this with your kids and whatnot? Because at the hospital, again, it just kind of seems like surgeries and prescriptions. They want to just but with the help of some oxygen flow, and we went ahead, and it was so bad that we did do some like albuterol asthma medicine. So I like to keep things as natural as possible and use medicine as like a last resort. But it did help her open up her airways with how bad her situation was, and get her breathing again. And but natural things like they were sucking the boogers out, they were giving her oxygen, and the only thing we did drug wise was albuterol. And she was able to fight through a couple nights of the worst of it and get through it. So that was really good. So I guess I'm not sure exactly what the main topic of today is. I mean, really, I guess it's kind of like asking questions when you go to the hospital about, because they wanted to give her steroids and they wanted to give her all this other crap. And she's 9 months old. And I'm just like, she's little, she's struggling with an infection. Like, just some oxygen and sucking the boogers out and a little bit of asthma medicine was enough, to get her through it and back on track, and keep let the body fight and do what it wants to do. And I know it's scary when it's your kids, especially when it's a baby that's not even a year old, but I still felt confident in the decisions, and asking questions, and we did decide, because she was getting a little dehydrated, because her oxygen was dipping when she was feeding, like breastfeeding. So we did, they wanted to put an IV in her, but I waited till we got to the pediatrics, and the doctor looked at her, and we looked at her levels, and there's like, there is a reason to poke her and get an IV in there, because it's difficult on the babies. And so they had to poke her all over, and she was screaming. She lost her voice, but she got hydrated, and she got oxygen, and she got her booger sucked out and the phlegm, and she got the airway opened up with some albuterol. So we did it as awesome and natural as possible. But anyways, if you're ever battling something like that, ask questions, and just don't just say yes to everything, because there was no need for steroids, and there was no need for these other things they were trying to give her. So ask questions with everything. Ask questions with your food. Ask questions with the doctors and the prescriptions. And I'm really glad that we took her in, because she was really battling it. And so if you're battling anything as well, with try not to create like a huge inventory list of prescriptions if you can, because once the body starts relying on those and depending on those, it can be a little tough sometimes to get off of them. There was something I had heard the other day, and I need to verify if it was actually said by him, but there was a philosopher, I'm blanking on his name right now, I'll probably put a picture of it right here. But he said, let food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food, right? And so, it's really true for me. And so, whatever we're putting into our bodies, whether it's, oxygen, water, good clean vegetables, fruits, nuts, things like that, plants, there's so many other things out there like legumes and beans and stuff. So, seeds, things like that. So, just people really underestimate the power of things as silly as, like a radish or something is killing cancer, and just other things, keeps you really healthy and helps you fight and kills infection, like viruses and like cloves and other things that you can eat that just really kill parasites and viruses and other things in your body and can cleanse your body. And you're a living organic being, and so are all of us, and babies, and we're this material, like living, walking atom germ thing, right? We're like, there's germs and viruses and worms and bacteria all living inside of us, and there's colonies, and this is crazy because we just go along our day like, I'm gonna play on my PlayStation and drive my car to my cubicle, and I'm gonna swipe on TikTok, and we're really distracted and detached from what we are, what we actually are made of, and what we are, and nature and life, and how organic and living we are. And that when you put living plants in you, and foods and good things and juices, and those will heal your body and bring you back into alignment, and as well with your mind and your spirituality. It's just really trying to keep everything balanced and make the healthiest choices you can, because you never know when you're going to get an infection or get sick, like my daughter did. And so I just really encourage everybody, ask questions, eat healthy, balance your life out, and do the best you can. Don't get caught up in this propaganda, commercialized craziness that all this trash and chemicals in our food. I've met and talked to a lot of people recently at the gym from other countries like France and stuff, and they came here 10 years ago, and they're like, they've got autoimmune diseases and all kinds of weight gain problems. That it's the food. The food is toxic here. The food is super toxic here. So you got to really and I think that's the problem so much, is people think they're eating good, but you're eating a bunch of really toxic things, and you got to really look at the ingredient list and be safe with what you're putting into your body, because you're a living thing. And sometimes you need help, whether it's at the doctor or with food and things. And so ask questions on your food, ask questions on your prescriptions and your drugs, ask questions to the doctors, and take care of yourself out there. So this is Draco, a quick video today. Appreciate everybody. Let me know what topics you'd like to talk about in the next video. And I'm just doing these because they make me feel good, and I like to put the information out there. I'm not looking for any big clout game on huge subscriber and all kinds of millions of dollars on YouTube. I just want to help people and get the word out there. So yeah, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye.